Hey, I'm at the range, and today I have with me my Colt 1911 45 ACP. This is a World War II Army issued firearm to my grandfather, and I am fortunate enough to have had it handed down through one other person and then to me. My uncle owned it before I did, and he shot IDPA and actually had the trigger redone and had the sights put on the back rear. And but you know, it did depreciate the value, but honestly I don't care because the value is in the sentimental value. It did depreciate it, you know, I don't know how much, but you know, if everything was pristine in the same condition, same parts and everything, if I had to guesstimate, maybe 12 to 15, 1800, somewhere around there. Now it probably stands about maybe 7 to 900 if I had to guess. But like I said, I'm never getting rid of it, so it doesn't matter. As you can see, I'm shooting PMC Bronze 45 ACP, 230 grain, full metal jacket. Terrific gun. If nobody owns or if somebody doesn't own a 1911, I highly recommend you get a 1911 of some variant. So many manufacturers are making them these days, and they're great quality guns. I'm sorry about the shaking, but I'm working semi one-handed. See? All right. Anyway, so I have down target a single section of a splatter target that I had shot previously. I just put a sticky in the middle to signify the bullseye, and I am going to shoot 7 rounds downrange. So hopefully I can set up the camera. Bear with me. I'm sorry. I know it's a little bit of a jerry-rigged setup here, but I'm just going to try and get it so it's at least lined up so you can see it. So that looks pretty good. So again, I've had a lot of coffee this morning. I don't know how accurate I'm going to be, but we'll see. So start the mag, load it up. I'm really going to try and take my time here. So here we go, 7 rounds downrange. And we are slide locked. Let me see if I can grab the camera without resetting the video. So there it is, slide locked, perfectly safe. And I mean, as you can see, I mean, it's a fantastic shooter. Now, granted, I'm only shooting about probably 15 feet, maybe 20-ish. But I mean, that's a fairly small target. Here's my hand beside it, so you're talking maybe 6 or 7 inches. Like I said, I cut a section out, but I mean, everything's right there. It's easily within a 2-inch or 1.5 inch from furthest to furthest point, and I blew off the center sticky. Actually, it probably just caught the edge of it and peeled it, but whatever. I couldn't say enough. I can't say enough about this firearm. It's one of the best shooting handguns that I own. Really a terrific shooter. Very, very easy on recoil. A lot of people think 45 is a very snappy or high recoil firearm. And honestly, in the 1911 platform, with it being a steel frame and there's weight to it, it really minimizes that muzzle rise, that muzzle flip. So, you know, even a lot of new shooters would probably feel more comfortable shooting this than, you know, I don't want to down any other manufacturers because there's great ones out there. But let's face it, there's some tiny polymer concealed carry guns that people that are just getting into shooting think, oh, I want something tiny to start. Well, it's actually the opposite. You want to start with a big frame gun, low caliber, and then, you know, work your way up from there, or down, I guess, depends on how you look at it. But this being a 45, yes, 45 is a big slug going down range, a big piece of lead, but it is, you know, it's 230 grain, but it's also traveling, you know, I don't know exact feet per second, roughly 900 and something feet per second, whereas a lot of the high velocity stuff is, you know, 1200, 1400, and even if it's a lesser grain weight, you know, for a lead projectile, it's going to be snappier. It's going to be harder to control. And that's the issue with a lot of 40s. You know, 40 Smith & Wesson calibers is they tend to be a little harder to control because they're a high velocity bullet, even though it's a little less than the 45. But hey, anyway, enough about the preaching. There is no right or wrong caliber, in my opinion. I love shooting them all, and as long as you can shoot it well and you know, it performs, and that's what matters. So 1911, again, this is issued, Army issued, and fantastic gun. You'll see right on it, it does show, I can't get it to, well, it won't focus. You have to take my word for it. It says right on it, United States property, made right out of Hartford, Connecticut, USA, from Colt. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it ran a little bit long, but there's a lot to mention about it. And again, for any of you that don't know, this is a single action only pistol. So basically single action, and I'm going to drop the magazine. Sorry, I'm working one-handed here. As you can see, the magazine's empty, and there is nothing in the chamber and no magazine, so it's cleared. Single action only basically means that when the hammer is back, sorry, I don't know what happened there. Maybe I'm not sure why it didn't keep the hammer back. That's kind of bizarre. I've never seen that happen before. Maybe the trigger was slightly pushed. How's that for firearm safety, folks? At least I'm pointing down range, as you can see. That's why we always do that, in case a mishap happens. There it is, proof in the pudding. Stuff can happen no matter how much you handle firearms. So anyway, long story short, single action basically means the hammer has to be back in order to shoot. So, of course, here, when I pull the trigger, it throws the hammer forward, hence one action, single action. And then now if I pull the trigger, it doesn't do anything. So it has to be in that cocked position to shoot. That's single action only. Once you shoot and the round goes off, it cycles a slide which pushes the hammer back and cocks it, ready to go for every follow-up shot. So sorry for those of you that already know, but you know, there's some people out there that are probably new to it that are curious about the different actions of pistols. So like I said, anybody that doesn't own one, I highly recommend you get one. You won't be disappointed. Thank you very much, and everyone be safe.